something HIV is a curse.
Before the birth of Actionplus,
people still don't know what HIV is.
Because they don't know the mode of the transmission.
The church need to add some action.
We can now go to church to talk about HIV.
The incidence of HIV has always been high, mostly within the Black African communities because of ignorance. Stigma and prejudice had become barriers to HIV intervention during the late 1990s. This was when Apostle Fred Osei Annin established Actionplus Foundation in 1997.
When I started with the ministry, the name first was Numa Outreach Ministries. And then I added on top of it the Numa Community Link. It was through Numa Community Link that we started to do more work on health issues. Actually, we didn't start only with HIV. We were doing all kinds of health, education in the church. And it was through that I realized that we have an issue with HIV. We changed our name from Numa Community Link because we realized that the action as it is made to support the vulnerable people in the country wasn't there. And it has also not been registered in the church. So it was when the Lord showed me that we should intervene in the HIV issue that also prompted me to change the name to Actionplus.
The early days of HIV/AIDS and the stigma attached to the disease made it difficult for many churches to open their doors to sexual health professionals to engage with the church community. The alarming issue also was that a large number of people who were infected with HIV were also not aware of their status and therefore put the entire church and the whole community at a risk by living in fear of being stigmatized when their HIV status is revealed.
Something HIV is a curse because they don't know the mode of the transmission. They think everybody who acquires HIV is leading a promiscuous life. So God have cursed them. So they see them as cursed. Because of this, there was no intervention. People can't come in to talk about HIV, let alone supporting those who are having, the infection. So I managed to get some few of the pastors. And once we train them, we use models, and one of the models that we use, which has become a real, big model that have been replicated around the world, is Take Action Now. Take Action Now is now we can now go to church to talk about HIV.
So the vision of Actionplus is to reach to where the church has left a gap, to seek for the needy and address them at the very point of their need. People who are orphaned by HIV, persons living with HIV themselves, and cross-section of people who are destitute.
After successfully establishing Actionplus Foundation in the UK, Apostle Fred came to Ghana.
I came to Ghana after 10 years to set up a church. In my mind, it wasn't for an NGO, but to set up the church. So within 1 month, we had 2 branches. And it was when I was coming back to London that the Lord showed me why He brought me to Ghana. There were so many incidents that I saw. And that compelled me to know that God really wanted me to come and set up a charity here. So when I went back to London, I decided fully I was coming back to Ghana to open a charity, an NGO. Then when we did our research, Also, when we saw that HIV issue was another issue here in the country, we do training in the hotels, and we do testing in hotels as well. And then we realized that we bring it to the church, and we got the opportunity to have some churches who also open up for us, and we managed to set up the testing centers in churches. We became the first organization ever in this country to set up HIV testing centers in the church.
Both in the UK and in Ghana, Actionplus Foundation has not received any funding either from government or any corporate institution since its establishment, but the foundation has over the years rolled out major HIV/AIDS campaigns and interventions. In 2013, Fred led the Actionplus Foundation success model, Take Action Now. During the National HIV Testing Week in 2013, Actionplus Foundation became the first HIV organization in the whole of the UK to practically open an HIV testing center in a church where HIV is seen as a taboo and a no-go zone. In Ghana, Actionplus Foundation has impacted many lives with its HIV/AIDS campaign and education, donations, among many other interventions. These projects, programs, and campaigns have been single-handedly funded by the founder and chief executive of Actionplus Foundation, Apostle Fred Osei Annin, with support from some volunteers.
It's been 13 years now working for Actionplus as a volunteer. In fact, it has really been rewarding despite the numerous challenges that we go through, especially in finance. We have had a lot of programs, and all this program we have worked solely from our own personal coffers, donation from friends and families.
People still don't know what HIV is, but through Actionplus, many people are now aware of HIV. And then some people do not even want to know their status, but during the education, then they accept to test and they know their status, which I think Actionplus has done so much on that field.
For the past 14 years, we've been able to establish our own model of HIV outreach. And one of the model has been the Campus HIV Educational Program, which have functioned in the second cycle institutions and the basic schools across Greater Accra, Eastern and the Volta regions. We've had a series of activities, one of them being the Community Soccer Gala, which educates the community on HIV through sports. And then we've also had programs with people living with HIV.
In the UK and in Ghana, Actionplus have won many local, national, and international awards for the successes and impact made on society.
Within these 24 years that we have operated in UK and here in Ghana, we have not attracted any major funding. We just once a while, when we are fortunate enough that we can get a small grant, and just a grant is gone. Somebody can just give a small donation. So it has been a battle, very serious battle, to get us to where we are. But we thank God that the impact is more than anything that we have acquired. Since 2015, every year we win awards, local awards, district awards, national awards, international awards. In the UK, we won 2 major awards. One of them is the Excellence in Diversity Award. And we won the Diversity Champion for all charities in the UK. We won that award. We have won Sadok Mayor's Award. We won a lot of awards in the UK. And even this year, we won the Best Supportive HIV Organization in the UK. here in Africa, won the African prestigious award.
Actionplus Foundation is built on 4 outcomes, namely preventing the transmission of HIV by promoting condom use and other ways of stopping HIV infection through raising awareness around prevention campaigns such as conferences, outreach, workshops, and others. Actionplus is committed to open free confidential HIV testing centers in churches, marketplaces, lorry stations, and other community settings. With the needed support and funding, Actionplus will be able to reach out to many communities and promote the benefits of early diagnosis.
Somebody like Pastor Azuma is living with HIV. We went into the word, I encouraged him, and then I started talking to him about the positive part of HIV that he didn't know before. And in fact, I said to him that you are going to be one of the giants in HIV intervention in the country if you will take what I'm saying serious. And I know everybody knows about Reverend Azuma in the country. He got what he's got from here, from Actionplus.
The vision of Actionplus Foundation is to become a shelter for all kinds of people, protecting the vulnerable and giving meaning to their life. Actionplus Foundation wants to create a better life for all with the appropriate infrastructure in the coming years.
So we are looking at building an empowerment center for the country. And this empowerment center is going to be a place where we can build a clinic, especially HIV clinic, because many people still can't access treatment because they still feel like stigma is something that they are battling with. And if we are able to build a clinic that we can test people, we can give treatment to people living with HIV. We also want to, establish a food farm within this empowerment center so that we'll be able to use the fruits when we harvest them to build a factory to produce fruit juice, where we can sell to generate income to come in, and also to create job opportunities for people who are not working. We also want to build a school. This school will serve as a purpose and as a base for needy children who are just on the street.
I see Actionplus touching more lives in the next years to come through our activities. All these people living with HIV would boldly and openly live their lives as normal human beings. That is how I see Actionplus doing in the next coming years.
According to Winston Churchill, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. And Apostle Fred Annin is making life meaningful for others by giving the little that God has blessed him with.